All right, folks, we're ready. Please stand. I'd like to ask, City Manager Jim Anderson to say a prayer for us and Mr. Garcia to lead us in the pledge.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful day you've given us. We ask that you give us strength and wisdom to do the work of the city. Lead us and guide us in everything we do. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Alrighty, we will call the first meeting of March to order. Thank you all for coming. First item on the agenda is the consent agenda, which consists of minutes of our February 17th, 26th meeting. If everyone's had a chance to read over those, if no corrections, deletions, or additions, I'll entertain a motion to approve. Commissioner Hoffman made the motion, Mr. Langston second. Any discussion? All right, from the public, 3 minutes.
Good evening, Commissioner, staff. I appreciate it. Did y'all receive my email yesterday about this time about concerning the minutes?
I did.
Did y'all understand what my comments,
I'm
the
pretty
way they were
sure.
written up?
I'm pretty sure.
Or y'all gonna be able to change, correct them?
The motion is to let them stand approved as they're written.
When, actually, February 3rd, when Mr. Anderson shared the memorandum agreement to me, actually emailed it to me. He read part of it, and then I requested him to send it to me, which was the next day, February 4th. And that's what I read, y'all's last meeting, which is February 17th, after he kindly sent me that memorandum of agreement between Guff County and the city of Fort St. Joe over the, over the north part of the Field of Dreams Road. The agreement that y'all and Guff County had, that's what I went over. You stated on that, these minutes, that was my opinion. That is not my opinion. That is factual item I shared back to this board. So with y'all's minutes, I'm asking y'all from here on out, correct that yesterday, in the future, to put actually factual what I said. And I'm on my email to y'all, I'm gonna read it for the record. This is yesterday. Good afternoon. After reviewing these minutes from the last meeting, under the citizen be heard, the comments are written or not written correctly. Christy McElroy and myself spoke on the memorandum of agreement that Jim Anderson's, your administrator, sent to me on February 4th as I spoke. I request that this document that was shared is clearly not my opinion, but a factual document that needs to be documented. These minutes need to be corrected with what Ms. McElroy and myself clearly stated at the meeting. It's plain and simple. I'm asking y'all to correct them minutes.
Thank you, sir.
Christy McElroy, this is where I have a problem. It says Robert Branch and Christy McElroy shared their opinions on changing the name of Field of Dreams Road that does not belong to the city. It does belong to the city. And Rex, you were sitting on this board 2011, and here are the minutes. And so was Commissioner McCrum, and so was, I believe, Mayor Magnuson, that shows that you gave the contract to GAC for that road. We paid for the road, and the MOU clearly says that the service to the road, meaning any changes that need to be made to the road, the city is responsible. You also got Ms. Gaskin were the sponsor for her getting that grant. That road belongs to the city. This is my opinion. And y'all have yet to show us any of your documents that say that that road belongs to the county.
Your view of the document is an opinion.
No, it is not. My view of the document is clear. It says that you are the ones that are
So
responsible.
the right
for-
to ingress and egress.
No,
we have to
no,
make-
that's not what the
I'll have.
That's not what the MOU says. And that's not what the minutes say from 2011. I'll put those as well in your documents at the end of this meeting. It's not our opinion. And you said nothing about the MOU. Everything that we said was based off of reading the MOU directly to you. I'm gonna ask y'all to change those minutes because they're fraudulent. Thank you.
Let me say this. Ever since I've been mayor, I've tried to run this meeting with respect and decorum. And we have got nothing from you two individuals except negative things about what we do and what we try to do. You're an amateur engineer, an amateur attorney. You've attacked just about everybody on our staff and most everybody on this board. And frankly, I'm just sick of it. Now, you can get up here your 3 minutes and say whatever you want, but to basically insinuate that our city clerk would knowingly break the law by submitting minutes just really upsets me tremendously. And you can get up here your 3 minutes when it's your time to be heard, citizen be heard. You can talk about that road until you are blue in the face. But my suggestion to you is this. Get you an attorney, which you're pretty good at doing. Ask that attorney to sue the county for changing that road illegally. And then while you've got him, ask him his opinion on who owns that road. Because we rely on our attorney and not what you believe, which is your opinion, whether you like it or not. And so that's all I'm gonna say. But frankly, coming up here and talking negative every meeting, I've been up here for 18 years. That's 26 meetings a year. And during that time, whatever 18 times 26 is, during that time, I'm pretty sure you have come up to this podium just about every meeting. And not one, well, there was one time that I can recall you came up and said something positive. You gave the city a little contribution toward something we were working on. It was greatly appreciated, but it wasn't but a short period of time after that you got upset with something we did or something we said, and you wanted your money back. And we gave it back to you with pleasure. And so we are done with this. We're moving on. And the next item on the agenda is city attorney. Both, okay, all in favor of the minutes as they were presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 4-0. Mr. Attorney.
I have nothing specific on the agenda today, Mayor.
Alrighty, Mr. Baxley, please come forward.
Good afternoon. You have the updates in front of you. First item is the city government complex. Things are coming along well. Stormwater permit package will be submitted by the end of this week. Permit packages to follow will be the Corps of Engineers, be all the FDOT permits and FDEP permit for, should be for wastewater. If we may have single service connection, may not need either one of them. DEP may be only for, dredge and field with the Corps. We'll determine those in the next couple of weeks, but all the permits should be submitted over the next couple of weeks. The main one being the stormwater, because we need to get the impact of that stormwater pond into the wetland area first. So plans are at about a 90% level. It's not gonna take much to finish up the plan set, but the main thing is to get the permits in over the next couple of weeks, which is what we're working on. So we're still in plenty of timeline not to talk with the property owner right now about moving, but as we start getting some information, especially on the core permitting and stuff like that, I'll relay that to you guys and we can start having those
Yeah,
conversations.
give us an estimate on when we need to notify him.
Next item is the downtown alley drainage improvements. We met with John and Jim last week to discuss this a little bit more, and we're redoing a concept plan on what we believe is gonna work to alleviate a majority of the flooding downtown. We do recognize that there's some utility improvements coming in that area, and there is a gas line that runs down the center of that alley, so we can't disturb every portion of that alley. So we're trying to concentrate more towards the ends of the alleys where we have the most flooding and be able to direct some to the ponds. So we're kind of redoing what we originally determined and moving more towards treating the main areas of this where we don't have major disturbances all the way up and down the alleys. Avenue A stormwater permit application has been submitted to Northwest Florida. As soon as we did receive a REI and we've already answered that. So we're expecting a permit on that anytime. Once we get it, we'll prepare the bid documents and you guys can put that out to bid. Only other item is MLK CDBG, and my understanding with Jim and John is we're waiting on approval from CDBG before we can move forward. I think the only other item is,
Mayor, we do have on there for you too. The board has requested that we go out to bid for Avenue C and D paving. And what we need is, we need our engineers to go ahead and do all the engineering work on the road itself on this, so we can prepare the bid, so it's there for you.
Yeah. Yep, that's on page 5, folks, and, the amount for those services, $28,275. We'll need a motion to approve that task order so we can move ahead and see if we can, find a way to get those paved and get C and D finished up. So in that case, I'll entertain a motion to approve the, task order. Commissioner Langston made the motion. Is there a second? Second, Commissioner Lowry. Discussion from the board. Anybody from the public? All in favor, aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passed 4-0. Thank you. Any questions for John? All right, thanks, sir.
One thing, Mr. Mayor, while we're on that, I had asked, Mr. Anderson to give us a little bit of an update on the state, on Highway 71 and 98 and what the reroute and such. I've been getting text messages and phone calls on that. So,
Yeah.
you can,
Yes, sir. Currently, right now, what you have is traffic is still flowing from west to east. Currently, we call it the eastbound lane. That through lane will stay open until they complete, or I'm sorry, we're still on the left side, going eastbound. It's gonna stay open until they complete that side. Currently, right now, they have 2 intersections that are closed. It's gonna be Reed Avenue and Williams Avenue. The plan is to get those 2, concrete poured within the next couple of days. And as soon as that cures, they're gonna open those 2 back up. So those 2 intersections will be open back up. They can continue to work on call it the south side of the road until they get completed there. They're gonna move down to the other intersections and pull out sections of those 2. So hopefully, the big delay right now is gonna be getting Reed Avenue and Williams Avenue back first. That's gonna be the most painful, and then Long Avenue. So as soon as they get done, they'll move down.
so I'm saying, y'all are gonna let the businesses know, well, just to make them aware.
Yes, sir. I spoke with Jared Powell to, Mr.
Oh, to let
Anderson
them-
earlier. And actually, the proposed target date will be completed by the 6th. looks like it'll be the 11th now, we get long and Reed Avenue back up.
Okay, those two things.
For those two
And the
things.
chief sent out a thing, on Facebook or something, last month about, the, barricades and stuff on those two streets. It was unfortunate. I and John and Jim met with the foreman in Jim's office a month ago, I guess, because some same situation that you're having and wanted to get a feel good about what they're doing because it's a state project.
Yeah.
I believe he said the contract is for 6 months, 180 days to finish that thing. So, and I don't recall when the start date is, so they move along but slow. Yeah. What about 98? You're asking about
On
98?
Highway 98, the project's not been let yet, to my understanding, or the contractor on it, so we're in a kind of a holding pattern for 98. The next step you'll see with 98, once they let the contractor, it's gonna be to come back and deal with the stormwater. So the road has been cut down the middle, but sooner or later, they're gonna come back through and they're gonna take out those old stormwater pipes to help alleviate some of the problem downtown, we hope, and then they'll come back and pay. So we're several, 2 months, 3 months.
We're
I'd
on-
say at least 2 months before. we start.
It's May, I believe it's May 6th or something, the FDOT thing said they're gonna pay. When that
Yeah, but
handout you gave me or emailed it.
yeah, and I don't think that's accurate. I think, again, like Mr. Anderson said, the stormwater crossings will happen first on
Right.
third, second, all the way down. So paving probably August, September.
So that situation is up to us now. Getting that stormwater and all that done. Had we've already let the contract form, haven't
No, this actually falls under the state.
This is still DOT, yeah.
That'd be
we?
DOT.
Oh, God.
DOT, so they're doing the stormwater portion and the road.
Now, what the board did approve last year was the crossings, the sidewalk crossings on Second, Third, Fourth.
Right,
You know, we are in the MOU with FDOT for those.
okay, so we're,
Two
state
states.
again, yeah. Okay.
Just so I'm clear, back on the 71 side and blocking off Reed and Williams, how will people access from the other end I'm guessing, or from some of the, I'm a little bit confused and I want to be clear for the public.
Well, again, I think we'll have to cross that bridge. We want FDOT to minimize their impacts on downtown from Long all the way to Reed. So much like they're doing here, they'll pour the concrete, what they call hot.
Yeah.
So those closures should be minimized. Now, the rest of it, they'll take a while, but
You can still access Reed Avenue from 71, but what they did was compact, instead of 2 lanes on one side and one on the other, they just got 1 lane going each direction. So you'll still be able to go down 71. You just won't be able to cross the intersection to go back towards like By-Right or to cut across.
Right.
Yeah, those, on the east side is where a real problem is. You can't come down the access now and get to By-Right and the Sheriff and Family Dollar.
you're on Woodward. You have to go to Woodward.
Yeah, you got to figure a way to get around it and,
So as soon as they get done with that side, they're gonna do all that work on that side, and then you're gonna see they're gonna close the other side and let us drive on the new refurb.
But they do recognize the concerns from the board and they're trying to minimize this closure.
actually, I think we'll have probably more issues when they come back on the west side where we're driving now and block it off over there, because when they block off, if they block off Reed and Williams and Long again, you can't get to Reed Avenue, you're gonna have to come to get access Reed from 4th Street,
Yeah.
Highway to 4th.
That's what I was thinking.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but John, now, while he's on that, on the Reed Avenue blockage and those type things they're doing, that's gonna be just this one-time shot, right? They won't close that Reed access again, will they? Or,
Well, when they flip flop, when they change sides, if you will, from eastbound to westbound,
yeah,
they will close, because if you recall, that's
Oh, that's
intersection
got
of Reed's
to,
pretty
yeah.
substantial.
yeah.
That's where
That's the worst spot is.
So that will be fairly substantial.
That's right, okay, well,
Yeah.
This is what I would like. I would like to know that the road is blocked before I get on the road there, on the road, The other day I was coming down on the bus and no knowledge that it was blocked. But until I got there saying that it's blocked, I wish it would be further down the road, then drivers know, hey, look, this intersection is
Yeah, a
blocked.
couple block down the road.
We can work with them on MOT to make sure signage is pushed down,
Yeah,
so folks will know.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Woodward will be the same way, because it's a through street.
Yes, sir, that's correct. We'll work with them contractors. Appreciate it.
That's good. All right, all on the engineer thing, okay, old business, city projects. Everybody knows what we got going on, which is a little disruption now, but I'm afraid it's a sign of progress. I hope folks understand. But anybody got any questions on the city projects? All right, new business, state championship sign.
Yes, sir. Mayor, back during Hurricane Michael, our previous sign that we had, acknowledging the state championship got destroyed. We then tore it down. We went back and did talk to the school about the championship years that are on the record. So we put that in for you today. So there's been some discussion about, should we put the sign back over there? Do we want to put it back in the same spot? So what we did was contact the school, got a listing of all of them. So it's up to the board what y'all want to do, but we could go back something, football, baseball, and list the years on it, same spot, or take the suggestions.
I definitely want to put back up. I've had several constituents ask me about it over the years, so I'd love to see it. And I'm fine with putting it wherever they would. I mean, I'm fine wherever y'all want to put it. If we want to put it in the same spot and whatever.
Yeah, it was always there, but I think many times I've driven by there at 45 miles an hour. I can't really read what's on there. It said we had state championship teams, but unless you stop, nobody sees it.
There's too many championships.
Somebody had a suggestion that maybe we put a sign at football field entrance, baseball field entrance, track field entrance, girls softball team entrance, and recognize those teams that won state championships when you're walking in, which not a bad idea. I'm sure the school would allow us to do that, pay for them, but, yeah, I'd like to recognize also, I mean, quite a accomplishment if you read down that list. So I'm open to anything, really, but I want people to be able to see it when they coming into town somehow, and we can't have a pure billboard, so, I don't, I'm open to whatever way to be more visible, let's put it that way. Does somebody want to,
I think it's a good idea.
get a mock-up
Yeah.
layout, something like that, what it would look like.
Kerrigan, he does signs, so I should.
Somebody can get us a
Render or
I'll
something.
work on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one thing we have to be careful about is missing a team. So I would suggest, why don't we post this list on our website and just put it out there for the public, and someone may recall, well, we actually had a baseball team that used to play over on Avenue A. Remember, we sent a field. I hear about this baseball team all the time that won a lot of awards. I don't know if they had a state championship back in the days
Well,
of segregation, but
Washington High basketball, I'm pretty sure may have a state championship,
yeah. we-
So
69, yeah, same year.
you would, you don't want to leave anybody out. Of course, how far back you can go.
Somebody told me.
We'll work on some options.
Alrighty. Public Works.
And we actually officially finished up downtown water, our portion in last week, so that's why it's behind us. We're moving forward with Victoria Avenue, Highway 98, White City Water. There's quite a few on our list that we're getting ready to dive off into.
And your, fire hydrant removals are coming along.
That's complete.
Pretty
That's all
far.
downtown. Everything's complete down there, yes, sir.
Yeah, looks great. Looks good. Question? Anybody? All right, surface water.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor, Commissioners. We've been informed by the GEP that they'll be conducting the 3-year sanitary survey inspection of our water system, March 31st through April 1st. So the water plant personnel right now are working this month to get prepared for the inspection. No bad, and inspecting us and for public works. And also I did have some good news. One of my operators, Cameron Alcorn, he passed his state Class B license exam.
Class B. Excellent. Yeah, absolutely. Pass that along to him.
Yes, sir. That's all I have today.
Anybody got any questions? Okay, wastewater, Joe.
Yes, sir. Just a quick update about this pilot study we're running with the filter. It's been going for 4 weeks now. We've got 1 more week of fun time on it. We're waiting on lab results and data to help us make an informed decision, but that wraps up next Monday, March 8th. Other than that, solar equipment works, diesel equipment works, normal business at the wastewater.
Business. Okay. Anybody? Joe? All right, Mike's out. John, you're the Mike spot.
I can't answer his questions.
Jim, you got any update on finance?
Just one thing for you, Mayor, Commissioner Kerrigan today is at an event over in Panama City. We're hoping to get some good news on potential grants. So we're anticipating an announcement from the governor's office today that hopefully we will have more grant money.
And yeah, we got word, I think, yesterday that we might be getting a grant, and I thought it'd be great if one of us would attend this, be volunteer, and there you go. And while we're on, grants and that type thing, Ms. Pierce has been keeping up with our historical preservation grant that we've gotten and approved last year. Or may have been the year before last, I don't know, when we did all the centennial renovations. So it was at least 2 years ago. We got approval for all that work, and it was sent in last October for us to get our reimbursement. We're having a hard time getting it. And so she's working with the agency that's in charge of that, and hopefully we can get an update on that. If not, we may have to go and speak our senator and representative to light a fire under them for that, because it's hard enough to keep spending our own money on grants that they've already approved, and now we can't get reimbursed. So just to give y'all an update on that. Anybody? All right, code enforcement, page 11 and 12, we have another volunteer request for the demo. And you've got that, like I say, on page 11, and, that's Mr. Elmer Welch. And, is that in the budget, Jim? We got money to cover it.
We have met with the county public works to have these taken down. We haven't started the process yet. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this will be the 5th one.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Currently, right now, we have $50,000 in the budget in there for take down a demo. John's doing good with this.
Okay, we'll vote on that, and then I'll let Mr. Cannon, have the floor if he needs it to speak. Okay, I'll need a motion to approve that, voluntary demolition. From Commissioner Langston made the motion, there's a second. Second by Commissioner Hoffman. Any discussion from the board? Anybody in the public like to talk about it? All in favor, aye? Opposed, same sign, motion passed, 4-0. All right, John, the floor is yours. If you need us.
Mr. Mayor, I'm just taking a little time to get these customers sign off and all that, but I'm working on it hard and steady. Just
Yeah,
bear with me, I'll get her done.
he hit the ground running, folks, and I think if you talk to him, you know that, so, we're glad we've got somebody that's gonna stay with us for a while, hopefully you will. Any questions for John? Okay. Moving right along, police, Mr. Nichols.
Nothing out of me, sir.
Okay, all right, everything good with the city, chief, okay?
Yes, sir, he's off.
All right, good deal, good deal. All right, any questions? All right, moving right along, let's see, Ms. Pierce. on
Yes, sir.
Grants.
As you mentioned, we're working with SHPO on the Centennial Building and Cape San Blas Lighthouse Complex on both of them. So we are speaking with them frequently. Also, put some information in your places for the upcoming election qualifying, all the information that Supervisor of Elections Rhonda provided for us. So you have a packet there to guide you and inform you along the way.
Very good, I think we have, Commissioner Lowry, Commissioner Hoffman are up for reelection at this time.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
That's all I have unless you have some questions for me.
Anybody on grants?
Thank you.
Oh, mention, about, putting the, original lighthouse back where it belongs, lighthouse light.
All right, so the lens,
Yeah, the lens.
Rear Admiral May was not able to come in January. He plans to be here in March. He and the gentleman that works with him have been successful in putting the actual lens back in the lighthouse tower at Montauk, New York. They are hopeful to do the same thing here, and he will be evaluating it, looking at it, and talking with the Coast Guard to see if they would allow it, and then it would be a private aid navigation. But there is a possibility we could put the lens back in the lighthouse. It was there for so many years.
Very neat. I've talked to a lot of members of the public about that. Excited about
Yeah. Anybody grew up here, knows when you come
Also,
in town, you can see it all across the bay.
we had a very generous contribution from a former resident of Fort St. Joe to the museum that we're trying to get started, the Maritime Museum in the second Keeper's Quarters house. We have purchased the blinds and have dressed all the windows in the museum. We will be getting some signage for the museum, but we are making progress on that, and hopefully it won't take real long, but we are working to get like interactive displays, things to do with maritime from our area, from the history, to display in there and go from there.
All right, any other questions? All right, we're on citizens to be heard. Anybody like to speak to us, please come forward.
Robert French, Mr. Mayor, I'm kind of concerning that you would, say that I'm always negative when I come to this. That's actually a false statement once again. So, in the past 8 years I've been coming up here, your clerk, I'm not even gonna look over there, has always wrote up, I bring up various concerns. Another false statement. The reason is, every time I come to this podium, I bring back stuff that presented off y'all's website with minutes. Mr. Anderson used to keep good minutes. I'm gonna give you an A for keeping minutes. So I'm gonna start with reading the minutes that, when he was actually clerk in 2010, what I've been preaching to y'all for the last several months with this road. I'll finish with that. Worst case scenario, to start with, Ms. Gaskin, to get to 600,000, y'all had to give a plan for the sports complex, Field of Dreams, an updated plan to get that money, to get that $600,000 grant. This shows it there. And this is your, Jim McKnight come to a city meeting in 2010 and said, worst case scenario, go bankrupt and the city would still have a road and infrastructure, which is Field of Dreams Road. That's once again saying it's y'all's road. Okay, there's, now, jump to 4/19/2011. this is when y'all bid it out to Gus Asphalt. The amount y'all bid, you was actually here, Mr. Bezette, was $338,093. The project was $600,000. I'm still researching to see where that other $250,000, I hadn't quite put my hands on it, but when I find it, we'll put that right back in the kitty to help y'all out. Now I'm gonna jump to 2012. The road to the facility has been completed. We're waiting on punch items, okay? Actually, Mel Magison, Rex Bezette, Phil McCrone, Gulf County Commissioner was on board at that time. So it's finished in 2012. Road once again, y'all. Okay, when y'all turn in your IRS assets to, your audit was 9/30/2012. I presented this before, but y'all seem to didn't pay any attention to it. Ballpark complex, 108,000, that's Field of Dreams. Y'all turn it as an asset. Field of Dreams roadway, 242,000. Once again, y'all claim it's your road. So this is not my opinion. This is what you made, Mr. Mayor, over the past, on and off as a commissioner and a mayor since 2009. Now, y'all, all the others sitting up there, when all this is brought out, you can agree with him, but y'all need to start looking. That's the reason there's 5 of y'all sitting on this board. Y'all need to start looking at what's wrote up on these minutes and what I present. I appreciate y'all's time. Y'all have a good day.
Christy McElroy, minutes of the regular meeting of the Board of City Commissioners for the City of Port St. Joe held in Commission Chambers at City Hall, April 19, 2011 at 6 o'clock. The following were present: Mel Magison, Commissioner Jindal, Johnson, Stevens, Bezette, City Manager Charlie Weston, Attorney Tom Gibson, and City Clerk Jim Anderson. Field of Dreams Road bid. Mr. Smallwood indicates that we received 5 bids on the re-advertisement of one for the $36,000. Arrow withdrew the bid. We recommend the bid go to the lowest bidder, Gulf Asphalt Company. The amount $338,093. The total grant was for the project $600,000. Motion was made by Stevens and seconded by Jindal to award the Field of Dreams bid for the road to Gulf Asphalt for $338,093. All in favor, 5-0. Not an opinion, just your minutes. You were there, Mayor. Here you go. Here are the minutes. City minutes. Take a look.
Thank you, ma'am. Anybody else? All right. Who was first last time? Mr. Weinstein, go ahead. Okay, anything?
I just want to recognize, varsity basketball team. Excuse me, for going 25-0 the first time ever in, Port St. Joe High School history. I'd like to get them here next meeting, so that we can give them proper, congrats from all the commissioners. And, I love being around those guys. I coached them, I love being around. It was a fun year. Disappointing ending, but it was still a good year for us all.
Absolutely.
And, one more thing, I'd like to, thank the county for working with us, on the baseball field. Washington, I think we're gonna start having games out there, Little League and, baseball games out there. We've done a lot of work, appreciate it, John. I'm looking forward to it, to see people out there gathered up and playing some good baseball. That's all I have.
That'd be great. And for basketball, my goodness, the Franklin County game at our gym toward the end of the year, which was our last, that made us undefeated that game. I've never seen so many people in that dome. There was, everywhere there was a seat was taken and there was standing room all around. It was just, it was great. It sure was. So anyway, all right, Commissioner Lowry, that.
Only thing I had, I spoke to Mr. Anderson, earlier this morning, just happened to think about it, spring break is, upon us, and we have a board meeting, during that week. And I know more than likely I'm gonna be out of town. But I didn't know if everybody else, if we wanted to move the meeting or if we wanted to call, if we have something come up, we can call special or, but it's on the 17th.
No, that week of the 15th through the 21st, then something like that.
It's our local spring break.
I don't know. Right now, do we have anything we need to vote on specifically that would slow the process down if we cancel a meeting?
At this time, Mayor, I don't, and at any point in time, if y'all feel we have something that comes up, we can always call a special meeting. But it's all about the project right now, is the big thing we got going on, so.
How about staff? Anybody, got things that we need to address? Anybody else? So
You go for it?
I'm okay with canceling, that meeting, and if something comes up, we'll have time to call.
Sounds
So, and hopefully, if it comes up, it'll come up not during that week.
Right.
That weekend, possibly next week. Okay, need a motion to, cancel the second meeting in March, which is March the 17th.
So move, Mr.
Commissioner Lowry made the motion, there's a second. Second by Commissioner Langston. Any discussion from the board? Anybody in the public? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign, motion passed, 4-0. All right,
That's all I have.
okay. Commissioner Hoffman, your turn.
The only thing I have is we do have a addition to our family, so baby was born and doing great, so thank you. Other than that, I'm good.
Okay. Oh, I've scratched down a couple of things while we're historical grant. I got that done. During, families still, want to do their development. They want us to, negotiate with them on, possibly a land swap of some sort. And their particular place they want is part of where the Saltair Farmers Market is, twice a month. And if we want to work with them to get that project going, we're gonna have to know what our property is worth. If they want some of ours, it's gonna have to be something that'd be advantage to the city to do it. And so, but to do that, to negotiate, we gotta know what that property is worth. So saying that, we need to get that, appraised, that parcel of property appraised to, see what it's worth, see what we're actually being asked to give up.
Is it a portion of the property?
Yes, it's a portion that runs along the palm tree line out like 75 feet. And then it goes lengthwise. There's a big oak tree almost to Minnesota Drive to there. And, it would be a dry pond, it would be a water pond, it would be a dry pond. And, that is, what their engineers feel like it would take. But, I mean, we really, at a point, we can't talk unless we know what our property is worth. You know, some of us feel like it's worth probably more than it is, because it could be one day, but we still need to know, so is it okay with you guys if Jim orders an appraisal on that whole parcel of property?
I'll tell you how I feel about
We need to know that because, I think Mr. Durham wants to move on this project, I understand it.
it. Yeah, I
He
understand.
wants to know if he's gonna have an outside chance to, swap some of his property for ours, or it's just a dead water issue or not. Go ahead.
Well, my thinking is if we are going to do an appraisal, we have to pay for the appraisal. Whereas I think the easier way to enter into a discussion and negotiation would be, tell us first what property you're willing to offer up in a trade.
Mm-hmm.
I know enough about property values, and I think everybody else in this room does. Why not wait on the offer of swap and have him pay for the appraisal on the property he's thinking about swapping? Now, with all that said, I don't mind going ahead and saying what I've said before. In my mind, as a commissioner, voted in by the people that actually own that property.
That's right.
I don't own it. Nobody here owns it other than the people that are here as residents of the city of
What
Fort
you
St.
want
Joe.
of.
Right, I have very little say, but I'm not gonna use this seat to use that little bit of power that I have as a resident and safeguard the property. So I would suggest two things. One, find out what the swap would be.
Okay.
Okay? And two, find out what the people of the city of Fort St. Joe want to do in regard. I would not vote in favor of giving away their land unless they were in support of it and thought it was a great idea. So
Well,
that's the two.
you'd have to have a referendum to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but anyway.
Or workshops, we could get an idea. Now, I have not encountered a person yet that thinks that's a great idea.
Mhm.
I had several say, are you really considering giving away that piece of property? I think that piece of property, the way it ties into the lighthouse, the new bathrooms, Core Park, a splash pad, I just don't know that those things go together. Then to have in that mix a retention pond. And yeah, it may be dry, it's dry until it rains.
Yeah.
And then it's a mud hole, so, and I appreciate the Duran family and what they have done to this community. They're huge supporters, of just about every program we do and the school does. And I hate it that it's, it'd be a lot easier if it was some group out of Georgia wanting to come down here, but it's tough. I do.
Yes, it is.
But anyway, that's my thought.
Yeah, and frankly, that's exactly what we need to talk about. There's not one person up here, I think that would give away a piece of city property without getting something of value or more value, or we'd get hung downtown.
Yeah.
And so that's what we need to hear. Now, from my conversations with Mr. Dury, I think the property he's gonna want to swap is his parking lot on the highway that we had appraised, a while back when he wanted to sell it or make some kind of swap or something like that on, but I believe it's 1.7 or Jim can look that up. I don't remember. He thought it was worth 2 million and I think it came in under that, or it may have been 1.3. Jim thought 1.3 and I thought 7, so I don't recall. But I do know that I think that's the piece that he's gonna offer up short of the building.
Right, yeah, I was about to ask, is that the piece where the building is on the
So
corner?
I think, I told him I didn't think we'd have use for a building, then we'd have to pay to tear it down, haul it off, so,
Yeah,
so I said, we're interested in and the lot there, which, it would help us, but we ordered them. All right, if y'all would allow me or like me to, I'll take that to Mr. Duran and say, the board wants to know what you want to give up before we move.
Yeah, because to do the appraisal, I mean, the appraisals aren't cheap anymore.
Especially commercial.
I think that one cost us, what, three grand? So, yeah, and that can be part of the note negotiation. We'll look at that, and you pay for appraisal for that piece, so. Yeah. Okay, all right, I think Commissioner Hopper brought up a while back, Commissioner Kerrigan, took it somewhat, was the plaque at Dr. Joe parking lot. The plaque that weathered away, and we will get another one, and I don't know where that is. I asked Jim to find out. The last I heard, it was getting wording from the Hendricks family on what the plaque, because nobody could read the plaque, when we finally took it down, because the weather had disintegrated it, bottom line. So, all right, and the other one is, we're through with downtown water line. A while back, when we had a meeting with, George Gonzalez of St. Joe Company, I just threw out, when we got through, they'd be interested in going in halves with us to pave Marina Drive, which is, I'll put it up against any street in town being the worst street right now in town. And he said yes, but I haven't gotten, that was way of 6 months, may have been a year ago by now. Before we started working on the water line. So John, you give me an idea, it's probably a year.
At least.
So and then Jim and John, while we had a paper here, was it Roberts or who that gave us a
C.W. Roberts.
C.W. Roberts gave us a seat of the pants estimate of less than 500, I'm pretty sure.
It was less.
Yeah, surprisingly less.
We'll say we're upper 300s is what.
I thought so, and I think Jim and John said when it's all over and said it'd be a little over 200 for our share to get that road paved. So we'll, yeah.
It's crazy. That's why I said all along, I don't want that road that keeps coming up. I don't want to pave it. I don't want to maintain it. The county road. And that's my opinion. So there.
What road? Marina Drive?
No, that one to the Field of Dreams.
Oh,
The county changed the name. It's because simply, if we own it, we have to pay, maintain it.
We have to
all
maintain it.
And we own that in the city limits.
Yeah, we own the one at Marine.
That's correct.
Yeah, I agree.
Own that for sure. But anyway, if you'd like me to reach out and see if they're interested, we might get that road paved for half price. Is that good? Or you
Needs to be done.
Commissioner Lance, you all have to get a half price road paved.
It definitely needs to be paid.
Yeah. So that's the only one I know in the city that we can get a private entity to go in with us to. So things change all the time, so it may not be there anymore, but the offer, let's put it that way, so. All right, that's all I got, and, thank y'all for coming. We'll stand adjourned.